everybody, it's Michelle, and today I've got for you a standing Pilates reformer workout. So it's going to be a lot of lower body, and we're going to be up on top of the reformer the whole time, okay? So please make sure that you're comfortable and secure in your balance before you do this workout with me today, okay? So I'm going to start with my foot bar all the way down, and then I'm just going to keep my one red spring on the whole time. You can adjust that if needed, but one red spring should be great, okay? So here we go. So stand with your reformer in front of you, facing sideways, and then you're just going to step up onto the solid platform first, and then step your other foot onto the moving carriage, okay? Very important so that we don't lose our balance. So the closer your carriage foot is to the edge, the heavier these springs are going to feel. So start somewhere and then you can adjust, all right? Now, don't let the carriage move for the time being. All we're going to do is just take a few squats to get moving and to get warmed up. Okay, feel your toes nice and spread out. You want to feel even weight across your pinky toe joint, your big toe joint, and your heel. So that kind of triangle that those 3 points make up. All right, so start getting into as low of a squat as you are comfortable with. Okay, low back stays nice and long. Now let's do a couple more. Have your hands together right in front of your chest. Now stay down in your squat, twist to one side and reach your arms, one to the ceiling, one to the floor. Come back to the front and then stand up. Other side, 1, reach north and south, 2, return, 3, and then 4. Good, couple more times. Now again, the carriage isn't moving, so we're stabilizing, even though we're on this potentially moving surface. Yes, so be really secure, have the feet under you, and you're almost squeezing your inner thighs to keep the carriage connected to the stopper. All right, let's do one more time to either side. Spine stays long as we rotate. Good, so getting our upper body moving a little bit. All right, good. Now drop the arms, press out with straight legs, floating the arms, and then return. So this is a good time to check if you're happy with where your foot is placed. Yes, if it feels like you can't quite push out to your full range of motion, maybe move your foot away from the edge a little bit. Okay, and if it's too easy, closer to the edge. Very good. So our ribs stay stacked over the pelvis. Make sure the ribs aren't jutting forward. So good. All right, now coming back to that squat we practiced at the beginning, press out and pause. Now as I return the carriage, I'm going to be bending my knees to arrive in that squat and then press out to the end range. In and down, up and out. Very good. Drop and then press. Yes, making sure the knees aren't caving in towards each other. Really feel powerful as those feet go apart from each other. Very good. All right, now getting a little bit trickier, we're going to add that rotation that we practiced in the warm-up. So pause in your squat with the hands together. The legs are going to do exactly the same kind of press, and as they do, I'm going to twist and then return. Now this one's a little bit harder, so if you need to have less spring tension to be able to accomplish this, move that foot, okay? Twist and then reach. So I just leave my spine kind of leaning on this diagonal and I spin in those 2 directions. So good. Let's do 3 more. Look at that back hand. And last one. Whew. And then stand all the way up. Very nice. All right, now we're going to stagger our feet, okay? So I want you to take your foot that's on the carriage and move it to the front edge. Move your foot on the platform to the back edge, okay? So now it's almost like we're mid-step, okay, with one foot in front of the other. Try to have as much of your back foot on as you can. If your heel's hanging off a little bit, that's okay. All right, so stand evenly on both feet, carriage is into the stopper. Now we're going to take some squats here in this staggered stance. So again, inner thighs working to not allow the carriage to move. Very good. Now your back heel most likely is going to need to leave the platform in order to get your full deepest squat here, okay? So even the weight out between the 2 feet. Good. Now, if you don't feel comfortable having your heel off the platform, then you just won't squat as deeply, which is totally fine, okay? Let's do 2 more. This is really good for our ankle mobility. Now get down there and hold. Okay, here we go. Keep your weight over the platform foot, and I want you to push the carriage out and then come back in. So now for me, I have my heel up. So I'm on a high half toe on the ball of my foot, which is so challenging on this thigh. If you need a little more support, put your heel down flat, okay? And that might mean coming up out of the range of motion a little bit, but if you feel comfortable, it's kind of a nice challenge to have the heel up. Now, pause with the carriage knee bent, push off of your platform leg, and back. And same rules apply. If you feel comfortable to be on the toes on the platform, great. Not on the carriage. We're always going to keep that foot flat. Okay, now very important here, your knee and ankle need to be the furthest part of your body out to the side. Yes, if your head goes first, then that might not be a very stable situation. So really feel hip, knee, and ankle as the leaders. All right, now let's alternate. So we stay over the platform leg, push with the carriage leg, and then we switch. So always coming in to that staggered squat, and then alternating which leg is pressing. Whew. And if your heel is up, that calf and ankle are probably starting to feel this. Whew. So good. Let's do a few more. Draw the abs up and in. Last 2. Oh, so good. One more set. And then come all the way in and stand up. Very nice, you guys. All right, step down carefully off the back of your machine, carriage foot first, and then we'll walk around and do the other side. Okay, I'm gonna stay facing you just so you can see me a little bit better. So now you're facing your new direction, new foot on the platform, new foot on the carriage, and our toes are lined up with each other on this one. All right, so now taking it all the way back to the squats. So now we're all a bit more warmed up than we were the first time we did this, yeah? So see how things feel different. See if your range of motion can increase a little bit. So good. A few more times. Active inner thighs to stabilize the carriage. Very good. All right, now drop and hold and go into your twist. No moving the carriage yet. Rotate and then return and stand up. But kind of memorize this movement pattern, yes, because as we know, we're going to see it again in a moment. Very good. That's it. Do that a few more times. That's not easy. Just keep solid with the lower body and find that freedom of movement in the upper body. Whew. All right, now stand up, straight arms and legs, and do your standing side split. Very good. You can exhale as you press away, inhale to return. If that helps you connect to the movement. So good. Make sure the knees are a little bit soft so we're not hyperextending into the knee joint. All right, next on the way back in, we end up in our squat and then stand back tall. Yeah, kind of place the palms together and reach. See how low you can get at the bottom of that squat. Drop and stand. So good. All right, next, when we're ready, we add the twist. So we keep our back in that pitched forward line rather than standing up, and we just twist side to side. Good. Try to still get both legs all the way straight. Yeah? Whew. Stay kind of centered between your feet the whole time. So you move away from the platform to last one. And then stand all the way up tall. Amazing. All right. Now take your carriage foot and slide it to the front edge, kind of in the corner. If that's too difficult, move it away from the inner edge. Okay. Now platform foot slides to the back edge, as far back as you're comfortable with. All right. Inner thighs, hold the machine still, and then we take our squats here. Yes, so both legs get long, Good. And it's up to your comfort level how much of this platform foot is down. Yeah, if you want to go smaller, bend, but have the whole foot connected, that would be a great option. Or bigger range of motion, less stable with the heel lifted. All right. Okay, now let's get down and stay. We're going to push the carriage leg out first and then in. So we maintain that deep bend on the platform leg. Very good. As deep as we can handle. Back and forth. Heel up is a little more challenging. Last two. So good. Now pause with the knee bent. Push off of the wooden platform and pull. Push and pull. Now lead with that ankle bone. Yes, you want to feel super strong on this side of the leg. Leave the body back a little bit. That's it. Now start to alternate. Push with one and hold. Push with the other and in. So we're switching from right leg to left leg. That's it. Couple more times. So always thinking ahead to the next movement, adjusting your weight accordingly. Last two. Last one. Ooh, and then stand up tall. Amazing, you guys. All right, get back to a solid stance and then take your carriage leg off the back of the machine. All right. Okay, hopefully we're getting a little bit warm. So now bring your foot bar up one more notch, okay, to give you a little bit of support for our heel in the next exercise, okay? If you don't feel super secure, grab your wooden stick, if your machine came with one, to use as kind of a support or a walking stick if you need it, okay? All right, so coming onto your machine, probably the safest and easiest way to do this is grab onto the shoulder rests, okay? Make sure your carriage is touching the stopper. Step on with your feet, okay? So make sure you're really secure here, and then you're gonna step one foot back, ball of the foot on the platform, heel on the foot bar, and then adjust your front foot to wherever you'd like it, and then slowly, slowly stand up. All right, so we're in another kind of staggered stance. Legs are hip width apart. All right, now take the hands to the hips or hold something for balance. Now we're gonna bend both knees and stand back up. So kind of like that staggered squat we did a minute ago, but this feels very different, yeah, with this new orientation of our legs. Good, so it's a lot more work for the foot that's on the carriage, that glute, that whole back of the leg and the thigh. All right, a few more times. Low back should stay long, and you may find you can go even deeper because of this support for the heel. Maybe your knee even gets close to touching the edge of the carriage. Who knows? Just see how it goes, okay? All right, next we're gonna get down there and hold. Leave your spine on this diagonal. Press the front foot out and in, and then stand up. Whew, that is not easy. Do that again. We drop, push forward and back, and then stand. Yes, the further forward the foot is, closer to the shoulder rests, the more challenging, okay? The spring tension is gonna increase. Whew. That's it. Let's do that a couple more times. So tons of work for this supporting leg to keep you stable. Last one. Ooh, and then stand up tall. Oh, okay, good. All right, last thing here. Back leg is gonna stay long now, or pretty long. It'll have a slight micro bend. Now the front leg is gonna be the mover, okay? Try to keep your knee over your ankle the whole time. So totally vertical through the shin. Hands on the hips or reaching side. We're gonna find a lunge by pushing that foot forward and then just reverse it to come back. There we go. So if the knee goes before the ankle, we're not gonna be stable enough. We might kind of lose our balance, okay? So feel like you're using your foot to kick the carriage to the other side of the room. And then the easiest way to modify is just adjust and move your foot closer to the shoulder rests, okay? This actually feels really good on this back thigh. If you go deep enough, you'll find a nice stretch. Let's just do 3 more. Think of keeping the abs short. Yes, so we're not letting go through our abdominals. Whew, and then last one. Very good, you guys. All right, now maybe take your hands to the tips of the shoulder rests to switch feet, okay? So step the one foot down, other foot back, resting the heel. All right, now once you found your balance, stand up, starting without the carriage moving. Just get those knees bending and straightening. Yes, the further down you go, the more of a lean you'll have to find through the spine, okay? But it's a lean, not a rounding or a collapsing. That's it. So feel really solid. That heel is glued to the foot bar. Now get down and stay. Kick the front leg out and in, and then stand back up. Try to change the back leg as little as possible. Yeah, so this is not a big movement. We're keeping the weight on the back leg and stand up. Yeah, and it really is tons of work for that back thigh. Let's do that 2 more times. Maybe drop a little lower with each one. If you feel comfortable, last one. Whew. All right, so good. Now the back leg stays long. Squeeze the glutes and press the hip bones forward. Now move the whole shin as one vertical column as you go into your lunge, and then reverse and stand. Yeah, so we glide down and then up. Perfect. Back leg is mostly straight. Slight micro bend in the knee. That's it, good. Try not to stick the tailbone out. Drive both ASIS bones forward with you. That's it. Let's do 3 more. Push. So good. Testing our stability and our balance. All that good stuff. Last one. Whew. All right. Place the hands on the shoulder rests and then carefully step your feet down and to the floor. So good. All right, next we're gonna bring the foot bar fully upright. All right, so we faced the side, we faced the pulleys, and now we're gonna face the foot bar, okay? So grab onto the foot bar, carefully step up onto the carriage, and then place one heel up against the shoulder rest on a high half toe. Step your other foot off to the side and step onto the rail, just right in front of your platform. So you're in this kind of lifted hip lunge position. Let's just warm up the hips a little bit by pressing back and forth here, okay? So we're gonna progress this to be pretty challenging by placing a foot on the foot bar. If you don't feel comfortable with that today, you're gonna leave your foot down on the rail like we have it now, okay? And you're gonna do the same movements we do, just without that super challenging balance element, okay? So if you're ready, take the front foot, wrap the toes around the bar. Now lengthen out your spine, and we're gonna think of stretching our front leg and then pulling ourselves back, okay? How straight your front leg gets is not so important. Yes, I care about more what the back leg is doing, so really squeeze the glute and have that leg be the driver, and then the front leg is kind of secondary. All right, okay, now bend the front knee, squeeze that front glute. If you're feeling ready, take your hands off the bar. If not, place them back down, and then we're gonna try this without our hands on the bar. So this is much less stretch, way more stability and balance. So my hips are a lot higher than they were with my hands on the bar, okay? If your hips stay low, it's gonna be impossible to do this. Now we have to be elevated up a little bit. All right, let's do that one more time. Now bend the front knee, take the hands behind the head, and I just want you to pull yourself up with the front leg and then sink back down. So see if you can tap the stopper by using this long thigh and pulling the carriage in. Good, so my head is going up a little and down a little. It's almost like I'm stepping up onto a step with my front leg. So good, 2 more times. Pull in and out, last one. Whew, now grab the foot bar and then step yourself down. Whew, not easy. All right, let's do that on the other side. So new heel up against the shoulder rest, foot to the platform to start, and then just start by lunging and lifting, yeah? Start position. Don't worry about what it looks like so much. Just get the hips out of the lunge and then into it. All right, now you stick with the foot here if that's what you need today, Or we're gonna move up to the foot bar. Okay, wrap the toes around. You're gonna push off the front leg and return. That's it. And this will work just as well with your foot down on the rail, back and forth. Okay. Yeah, really use your arms as an element of support here. Don't just rely on the legs, because the legs are going to get to do it on their own in a second. All right, if you're ready for that, bend the front knee. Don't let the carriage move as you find your balance. Whew. And then only when you feel secure, start to push and pull. Out and in. You place your arms wherever helps you feel the most stable. Yeah, so my back hip is extended but not excessively stretched. So I feel really strong on the front of that leg. 2 more. Okay, now bend the front knee and hold. Hands to the head if you'd like. And you're going to try to lift up a couple inches, down a couple inches. Pull the carriage in a little, out a little. That's it, lifting up and down. Little pulses. 3, 2, last one. Grab the bar and then step yourself all the way down. Wow, amazing. All right, we're gonna finish with a nice deep stretch for the thighs, and then we're gonna be done. So step one foot to the floor. The nearest foot is gonna go against the shoulder rest. Okay, now let's do just a couple regular single thigh stretches here. So the more lifted and tall your body stays, the more you're gonna feel that back hip stretching. And we worked the hip flexors and the legs a lot. Okay, so give them this nice stretch. Now, if this is plenty of stretch, you can stick with this, but we worked our thighs so much today. Let's do a little deeper stretch if you'd like. So now maybe move your back foot a little bit. I'm gonna slide my kneecap back against the shoulder rests. And now see if you can get the bottom of your foot to look up at the ceiling. So this knee is super flexed, heel tries to get close to your seat. And now do your stretch here. Ooh, doesn't take very long to feel it. Yeah, so feel like you're pulling your heel closer to your sitting bone. That's it, and it's not gonna be very big range in and out. Yeah, just little tiny shifts. Yeah, so that puts that quad in an already pre-lengthened position to start the stretch. Good. All right, carefully kind of use your hands, get yourself out of that stretch, and then go to the other side. All right, so new setup. Let's do a couple with our foot down, body lifted, and then we sink down and up. That's it, good. So this isn't a spine stretch, so we want to keep the abs engaged to give all that good stretch to our thigh and hip flexor. Good. Okay, and then if you want to go into that next level of stretch, slide your bottom foot back a little, scoot the kneecap / shin up against the shoulder rest, flex your foot and pull the heel in, and then go into your stretch. You could even grab that foot if you like. Ooh, that makes it a lot more intense, and you could actively pull the heel in towards your sitting bone. Yes. Good. All that good connection of the abs is still there. All right. Okay, carefully help yourself down from there. Thank you so much for joining me for that standing lower body reformer workout. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like. Leave me a comment down below if you have any feedback or requests for future videos. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel and share this video with a friend. And I'll see you next time. Bye.